Guys, thank you so much for coming in here to see me at Body by Design. Okay, today's video is associating and disassociating from your submodalities and your feelings and stuff, okay? This is going to be a huge video that we're going to get into a lot more later on. So, when you associate and disassociate something, what's happening is you're having the ability to either make the story brighter or louder or whatever the case may be, okay? So, what am I talking about? Associating or disassociating from your thoughts and stories. Let's think of it this way. If you had been with your partner for years and years and years, and they've cheated on you and absolutely destroyed your heart, and you guys had a very messy breakup, but now everything's done and over with, okay? Well, let's say it's only a couple weeks after you moved out and things are still fresh. So whenever you think about what just happened, you'll probably get very emotional and start to cry. Okay? You're very associated to this experience. Alright? You're very associated to the story of this experience. Alright? So now, let's look at this from a different standpoint. Let's say this very same thing, this very same story, happened to another person, say a friend of a friend. So you've never met this person, but they're good friends with a good friend of yours, and she's telling you about it. So now when you're hearing this story, you're thinking to yourself, wow, that person's an asshole, and I'm sure this person's really upset, and I feel really upset that this person had such a horrible experience. But you're not really emotional or crying about it, are you? It's because you're disassociated from the experience. It's like if something traumatic really happened, say somebody got raped. There are typically two choices you can make after this violation has happened. One, you feel very vulnerable. You get very isolated. The depression kicks in. And by all means, they have a right for this. It was very traumatic. Or they take a different road. They'll stand up and they'll say, this will never happen to me again. I'm going to make sure that this doesn't happen to anybody close around me. I'm going to work with all of these groups to ensure that we get the word out there to more of the communities to help ensure that we keep people safe from ever having this happen to anybody else again. Exact same person, exact same story. The difference is they were able to disassociate themselves from it and find a greater meaning. Okay? If you come from a poor neighborhood, they say that once you're about 12 years of age, you've already made up your mind on how the world's going to be. Whether it's fair, whether it's unfair, whether it's tough, whether it's easy. 12 years old. So now think about this. You're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, living your life on, some modalities from when you weren't even a teenager. Even a lot of us that grew up in bad neighborhoods had moved out of the house by the time we were 14, 15, 16 years old. Some of us were having babies at that age. So we had parents that didn't know how to teach us how to think or set goals or to achieve things properly, because they were never given those tools. But now here's a chance that if this is really talking to you, that maybe it's time for you to really make a change. And for you to really take a step back in that third person position and really look at what's going on. You've got to look at it like, even if you're in an argument with somebody, like whether it's a close friend or it's your partner, and you got to look at it the fact that you guys are arguing and you can no longer really remember why you're arguing. You're pretty much stopped fighting about whatever's made you mad in the first place. And now it's just a fight about significance. And it keeps getting worse and worse and worse because you're not able to truly see what your partner is feeling or saying. Like I said, when you first start a fight with your partner, your friend, or whoever it may be, a lot of the times it's because whatever it is you said conflicted with something that was obviously hugely associated to their emotions that really offended them. And I mean, it might not be totally your fault, but at the same time, if you were able to understand this and then see this in the argument, you're able to even step back and even break the energy of the fight and be like, whoa, 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 whoa. You know, let's look at this from another standpoint, or calm down and get through this, right? Because, I mean, there's no point in wasting your emotions on shit that's not worth being mad about. Okay? And the number one thing I learned is that you cannot expect to soar with the eagles if you're always on the ground with the turkeys. Okay? So that means if you're not eating right, exercising right, and hanging out with the right people, those are the first 3 steps you need to make right now. If you're still living in the hood and, you know, you've got kids and whatever the case may be, or maybe you're just trying to get out and get educated, you need to move out right now. You need to do whatever it does, either work all night or do whatever to get yourself away from the hood and into a good neighborhood. The only way you're going to make your way out of anything or achieve any goal is to take immediate action, surrounding yourself with great people, and becoming an attractive person. So this means being 100% responsible for everything you say, everything you do, and every reaction of the person in front of you that does from whatever it is that you're saying or your action does, okay? So if you offend this person and you weren't paying attention to the conversation and seeing how they felt, you see what I'm saying? Happens a lot, right? I mean, I was a chef for years. Back of the kitchen is nothing but fights, and it's always fights about stupidness. You know what I mean? So again, this is associating and disassociating from your thoughts. So it's about being able to take a step back to the third seat and really see what's going on. There's always 3 sides to a story. Left side, right side, and what's actually happening, okay? So let's start paying attention to our thoughts, guys. Again, this is Josh from Body by Design. It's never too late to live the life you could have lived. Have a good day.